Morning, coming to you live, 1100 hours and 44 minutes, 2018. Titled this, Sometimes We Forget. I was thinking about recently with new revelation, new discovery on a lot of things. And this one I want to talk about before 2018 ends. And it's some things I forget. Happy I've met people. I'm going to put in my description box or in the comment section people that inspire me, that motivate me, that encourage me. Because I'm a people person. Even I love being by myself, but that don't make me less of a people person. I don't have a name for. I don't call myself names. Only name I will call myself is name that you hear me say on a regular basis. But sometimes we forget to be positive. That's one of the things. Being positive. Can you name some times that when you was the least positive in your life and how that affected you? So how did your action cause you to be affected by your positivity? Did it stay positive, or were you more deterred to do or gravitate toward the same bad or wrong behavior or patterns? Can you name some things that you do now that you know by the snap of a finger, a click of a button, walking out the door or going the wrong direction, that those things you stay away from would allow you to not be positive? So think about what is positivity. As I say, for me, positivity and being positive is everything I can control, my environment, my area. The biggest environment I control is myself. So my words and my actions, the way I respond. So everything I do is my accountability and my responsibility. I think this year was part of that. I keep hearing different people say this year was the reveal to me who other people was. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. If you working on yourself, this year to me was revealing of myself. Take the veil off, become aware. My spirituality, is coming back. Y'all gonna be you all gonna be in the store for 2019 for all the spirituality I have to release to the world that I have it. It's gonna still be raw, and it's this is my structure. My structure is raw, naked, straight out the box. It's not even in the box. It's the prototype. It's past the theory part. It's past the hypothesis because we've been in this world for all these thousands of years, and I've been in this world for 36 years, and it's gonna. And I hope you think about a lot of things you do. So in your positive state, what have you done? Another thing that what have we forgot? We forgot who we are. That holds a lot of weight on you. And by forgetting who you are, we started blaming people. And this is what I learned. This part of what I learned. I try to talk to my mother and father about things that they don't know about. Or that they have like, no, I didn't know about that. Or and it made me think, why it's crazy to think this way because your parents also want you to be better than them. Your parents, you're the seed of them, so the seed should grow and sprout more. The seed should be a little bit more fruitful. The seed, in most cases, you begot what you begot. In some cases, you can branch free. And I want you to really think about this. Your mother and father may have been horrible to you, but think about yourself. Think about this for a minute, because this stand on a positivity. Think about all the response you give to people. Number one, yourself. Number two, the family. Then you have like the people around you, then your friends. Then what about random people? Think about your response to random people. Because I have to do this to myself daily. It's a daily work of everything I'm doing. I am freeing myself from what I was told I should be, but I know I shouldn't be. Or I should not pick that up but it's uncontrollable because I didn't have any positivity. I didn't know who I was. So by not knowing who I was or who I am, then I came, and I'm even talking to older people. When I finally get a chance, it's almost as I wear them down because they see me so much. They sit here like, yo, this dude is really being honest by his word. Like, as this dude is really being really honest. I will tell you, I have no, because you know what I do, and I challenge you to do this more with people. Ask questions, even if they may sound. I've always been the one in school to ask questions, or I will wait and write them down because I would say, okay, write your questions down, and then I would call the teacher over, like, and I would ask her different things, and I hear the students they are all a freeze and try to listen to what I'm asking because you know what I learned. The questions that I ask, those kids wanted to know the same answer. But you know one thing they didn't have? They didn't have that I need to ask the question mentality. So my mentality was different from that. I didn't know the answer. So if I don't know the answer, for me, I couldn't move on because I had no clue and no idea how to get there. And that's another thing I'm coming into. Some things we forget about. Now, this may not never been talked about. Think about information you don't know. I don't know how it is when I don't know the full understanding of. Okay, when I started doing stock and investments, I didn't know what equity meant. I didn't know what equity meant. So when I was reading it, it was like it was such as in hieroglyphics. It was in another language to me. Don't matter how much somebody said it to me, just I'm gonna go revert back to this figure eight. This is figure eight. I'm gonna get this figure eight before I die. If I don't do anything, I'm gonna get this figure eight before I die. How to do this figure eight. And I learned if I can unlock certain things that I'm not very good at, that I have, and and we gotta understand everybody, if you meet a person that have a great mind on how to build houses, that don't mean you might have knowledge of how to build houses, but I don't mean your mind is gonna be as great because that may not be your thing. But it's gonna be this, you might be an artist and they build houses. Artists, think about that. You are artists, they build houses. Think of all the designs you can draw in their mind working with your mind. Come on, you working together. That's why in 2019, togetherness is going to be very important. I want to do a live on Monday and go over what is togetherness in our, so to get us to start us off in the African descendant neighboring surroundings, so we can finally have the foundation, build, form, and create the community. I'm going to call out a lot of people that want to actually stand together. Because if you in Washington, Chicago, Maryland, I'm in Buffalo, you in New York, we're going to all have to have understanding. We got to work together. Until we work together, nothing's going to change. But the revelation that I receive is man and woman. You go, ooh, it's powerful. Until we understand man need woman, woman need man, sorry, we not gonna change. But I'm gonna get back to some some things that we forgot about. So as we forget about ourselves, what is allowed in us? Think about that now. If you forget all about yourself, what is allowed in you? You don't know who you are. The first thing a person would say after a relationship, I forgot who I was. You never knew who you are. Because if you knew who you are, how is you getting out of this relationship? Whether it's a friendship with another man, because that's your homeboy, or you a woman, that's your homegirl, or it's a relationship with a partner you was trying to live, or you was seeing if you can live your life with them. How did you lose yourself? That shows you never had true access to yourself and you never activated it. So we're going to talk about in 2019 how to truly access and activate who you are. It may not work for you because, as I said, you're going to be doing a figure eight and trying to figure out how come I can. But it's going to be some things that you are very, very good at. And those are things that I challenge you to work on. I challenge you to work on all the things that you are very, very good at. Don't emphasize if you try the figure eight, and you're not getting it, even after 5 years, 10 years, don't worry about it. I can't sit up here. I can't. You can't. You can't. You can't. You can't. This is the only time you're gonna use the word. This is I use can't other times when it's good. This is a good time to use can't. You cannot harp on what you know you are having trouble with. As long as you keep working on it, you should have no beef. Think about it. You sound silly to some people. You should have no beef on what you having trouble with if you know you trying to understand it. I don't understand a lot of things. So what so I should accept my plight. And that's gonna be another one. Some things we forget. Accept your plight. If you're working towards things, why are you worrying about 3 years from now? You don't even know what can change within the next 2 days. I'm talking right now. I don't know what can change in the next 2 hours. I don't know what can happen. I'm not talking about 2 years. I'm talking about literally 2 hours from now. I don't know what's gonna change. Anything. If you working on a project and you sent the information out to a company and it's Sunday, don't think people don't do nothing on. I might have got like, okay, you sent this pencil out to me. Let me. Oh, you never know what that person is doing at home. They and that's another thing I was talking about to the older. We forgot about loving our actual just for the time being, our J or the or job, our jobs, our career professions. I thought about this. I remember I'm gonna use me and my sister for example. But she talked as this. This is the one that can hold a grudge for the rest of her life. But she has that hurt, which is I don't know how to explain it because I couldn't be that way and then turn around and be that way. I'm gonna just I'm the only type of person that can just be one way with you. I'm gonna be whole up honest and don't do nothing and leave you alone. Or I'm not gonna talk to you now. And then years later, I know there's a second chance and it's time for change. It'll still be hard for me, so I stay away and keep my and I would help as I can. But I learned I have a lot of pride and proudness in myself. I remember I was doing a dietary aid, and everybody said I was taking long time. I was taking a long time. Everybody complained because they called the person a porter. A porter set up the place and we clean up. And I had to port, so I had to go do all these extra things that the other people didn't have to do. So I had to walk up and down stairs or the elevator and transport food and then set up their serveries. And within that servery, there's multiple things to do. So if you missing the food, I had to go down and get it while I'm doing other people transferring their food and getting it back up and down the stairs or the elevator. I'm doing, and it was a complaint, but I wasn't mad at the complaints until I started listening to people. But peep my story. I got started getting proud of the things I was doing because other people that see my effort, not the complainers, not the people I'm working with, not the supervisors even seen it. It's like he's working. He's not. He's not killing himself. You see, he's not sweating. Well, you can see he's sweating a little bit, but he's doing his. I'm just doing my job, and I took pride in that. And I couldn't take. I couldn't listen to no other thing that tell me my proudness and my pride is wrong. Because without that, I wouldn't have know who I am till this day. So that's some things I forgot about being prideful and having pride in the things I do. And I'm not rebellious or stubborn. You can't tell me that if you're talking to me and you're giving me pieces a good section of information and you expected me not to ask questions, not to truly find and seek to answer, and you just want me to believe, you got the wrong person. I don't care. I have to go figure this out because I remember I was talking to a lady. She was explaining some type of structures in this world. I looked it up and I was such a she wasn't lying, but she had her information a little messed up. And I told her, she's like, okay, I'm gonna read it again. But she didn't say, okay, I'm gonna read it again. It was as an attitude, it was her actions, her response that made me say, well, I'm okay when I'm wrong, But when I'm wrong, I don't want to be beat in. I didn't beat her, and I said, no, that was wrong. I looked this part up, and this is what it said. You was right about all this, but this part, because if you study a certain way, and as I study, I find certain words that lead me to the next thing. And if I had to led myself to what you said, I'd have had a whole bunch of untrue. It'd have been untrue. It wouldn't have been false. It wouldn't have been fake because it's just been untrue because that's not the correct information. So I have to come into a knowledge that's correct information. So when I'm cleaning these serveries, when I got done, you can tell who was on the servery. You know the difference between they knew every servery and what they would start doing since I was a porter and I know how to do the servery, started training me on basically everything. I could have been the supervisor next. They started training me. And when they started training me, they started moving me around. When they needed a place cleaner than what it used to be, they asked me to come in early. When they needed the freezer cleaned out, they asked me that. When they needed everything was done. They didn't ask other people, but other people looked at it as they was being slaves. I was looking at it as, well, I'm eating food from this cafeteria as well. Sometimes I don't want a dirty cafeteria. And when you cleaning out the pots and pans, it's a garbage disposal, a strong garbage disposal. When you pour it down there, you try to get all of the breeze out and throw as much of it in the trash. The leftover harder type of foods or smaller type of food. Smaller foods, it depends on certain. Like you didn't want pasta in there because pasta gets sticky. It's with cornstarch, and you have to clean those out basically every day. Before the person leave their shift, they supposed to clean it out as well, but they don't. So by the end of the shift, it's very nasty and it smells. And we throw a lemon in there, the lemon to get chopped up, or in the orange, and to get the acid, and it start. So when we put that detergent on it, the high quality detergent, you will see a difference, and it will smell different, and you can see a cleanliness when you start putting acidic foods on the floor where the food was at. It was breaking down those foods because it was natural acid. We didn't have to use the chemicals if you did it right. Eventually, we had to start using it because people. But that was the pride I took. Even talking to my sister, which her career is working around parents with their children, you had to see is detrimental because if I had a dirty pan, those older people would fall into sickness, and it would be my fault. They had to go to the hospital. So if my sister didn't make sure the paperwork was good, it'd be her fault if she wasn't doing the proper information. The people get fired. So when your pride come into hand, don't let somebody deny your pride. That's why I would say I am grateful for my life and the man I became and who I am. Because I can't forget that I'm a man first. And when you start telling me that you never seen my life, and the one thing I always reveal to people, I was homeless. I slept outside. That's I mean homeless. I mean really homeless. Like how they say you strong. I was homeless. That's dumb anyway, but I think that's funny how they say that. Yeah, I was homeless, and I didn't have nowhere to live. Nobody, not even a friend, a family member. Now, some family member made it known, some may not. But if you don't see me and you don't hear me, something's wrong. You can't get to my phone. I still have my phone on because I still worked. Then finally got to where I'm at now. This is the third winter, my second summer, third winter, about to go into my third year here. And it's about to be 3 years. I can say I'm truly, and my life changed. And it's funny because I paid off my debt when I didn't have a home. It's a lot of things I learned and some things I didn't forget. You can do a lot when you not so much you have to do it because I was doing everything I was supposed to do. And even still this day, I got to myself to a point where when I finally got good, I can't mess it up. Because I learned, because a guy said, when I get paid, the first thing I pay is? I said, what? He said, my bills. He said, I pay all my bills. Because he said he was homeless before. He said, I've never been homeless again. And then he the one that kind of like made me understand about having different skills. Having the skills, you would never not have work. So I want you to start thinking about a lot of things you do and say to people, a lot of things you do and say to yourself first. Do upon everything you do unto you is going to be an expression to other people. I have to say that. Truly understand. Everything, think about this. Really think, put some energy into this. I'm sorry, I'm not a drama channel. I don't use people's names. I don't talk about people because my life is different from theirs. I wear a size 14. If you wear a size 6, I know good and well you can't walk in my shoes, and I know I can't walk in your shoes. Even those phrases and cliches we got to use. I know everything you do, I can't do. I know everything I do, you not able. But I know I can learn. I know you can learn. I know we can come to an understanding. I know we can acknowledge one another. I know we can love one another. Love is fairly, love is a new element. That's why it came in the form of colors. On a break, ooh, y'all don't understand the spirit. The spirit, I don't call it, other religion call it differently. Enlightenment, Holy Ghost, the the knowledge, some other things, the special or I just say the spirit. Spirit is all. Just like I was saying, law in the beginning is all. Because law was originally, everything was originally based off the spirit. But until man put a lot of their self in it, because we didn't know who they were no more, the spirit changed. The spirit had to change. But the spirit didn't really change. The spirit had manifested into what we think we're feeling now. What we think is all. Whatever you feel that greatness and you start dancing. Now, unless you know who you are, I don't mean, and it's going to sound funny, calling about another power every 2 seconds is not knowing who you are. And I want to touch on that. You can't call on a power that gave you power. How are you calling? You have the power in you already. That is one thing we forgot. You have everything you need, you have. All you got to do is look within. Check out your heart. Check it out. Go examine it. I don't need nothing to examine my heart because that entity is telling me I have examined. Stop saying I know your heart. I know. I created your heart. I don't know your actions. And that's another we forgot. Whatever we do, I can change my whole paradigm. I can change my whole life with my psyche, my mentality, my mind. If I can change my mind as I did, my whole life changed. So learning these new skills, understanding what the spirit is, understanding what got us to where we at, man versus woman. That's the only thing that divide the world is man versus woman. It's nothing else that divide the world. Until we get back to man and woman, there's nothing's going to change. When I say unto one, I say unto y'all, it's your path, it's your journey, it's your choice, it's your mission, it's your position, it's your foundation, your structure, your building. Make these correct and right choices for you so the future can be better for the next to come from your seed or the people that you're around. Choose wisely. It's up to you. And if you don't do it, nobody else. If I don't do what I do, nobody else can do what I do. Stop saying it's going to be moved down. No, it's not. If that's the case, it wouldn't be. This world is worse than what it started off because it didn't start good. If you look at history, the world was still always this way. Stop saying, and I had to learn that. I'm like, man, the world been this way. And 2018 was the revelation of yourself, not other people. It was not showing you other people. It was showing you you. You wanted to be better. But if you keep going around people that's not better, that's you. That has nothing to do with them. You're picking to choose to stand up, get your hair done, put your clothes on, go to the mall, whatever you're going to wear, step out of that house, get in your car, or go get in that cab, get in that public transportation. However you get there, get on your bike, your skateboard. You went to that destination. You got out. You knocked on that door. They say, come on in. You went in. That has nothing to do with anybody else. I respect what you're thinking, but in all reality, if we want to be, how we say, quote unquote, real, in reality, that was you. And that's a good thing. And I want you to understand the revelation you got is you. And the one thing we forgot, stop putting all people together. You are unique and wonderfully made. You are perfect. That means you are whole. From the bottom of your feet, the top of your head, you are a whole person. Two eyes. If you got a missing arm or a missing hand, so be it. You still a whole person. You even better than me. Because if you missing a hand, I mean this hand strong as I don't know what. Grip, go grip. And if you don't have the power, imagine when you go train, you double training because you missing this hand. This other hand is compensating for this hand or this other part of the arm. You don't even know how great you is. If you knew how great you is, you wouldn't be crying about things. You wouldn't be fighting. I don't have to fight nobody no more. I know how great I am. Because then if I have to fight, I'll say, I don't want to fight you. Let me demonstrate. This is a quick review. The guy thought he was going to get on me. I'm 6'5" and he's 5'7". I learned how to fight at 5'7". My sister, friend, he became a good friend of ours. I call him friend. He kept making his cousin wrestle me. His cousin won around because he was bigger than me. Not that he was stronger, because he couldn't box me. He was like, no, we not boxing. We going to fight. He said, I teach him how to box. I know you can beat him in boxing. But he kept making him wrestle me. And he wouldn't stop. And the only way he was going to stop if I had got him. And when I finally got him, the whole demeanor changed. He got me 2 times in a row again. And I got him the next time. Then I got him back to back to back. Then after that, he stopped. He's like, okay. He ain't had to say nothing else to me. He's like, you got it. And from that day forward, I learned the size of you didn't matter. But when this guy kept trying me, I told him in this case, size mattered. I said, thankful you cannot intimidate because I'm looking down at you. So what he would do was try to throw moves at me. And what I would do, I would kind of like block him and counter him off and show a little. Then one day I just stopped. Then he asked me, why are you not moving anymore? I said, I'm not going to open myself up now because I know how to fight too. And I'm seeing you're learning from me because every time we do something, you do something different. And you're learning. And you notice how you do something different. I'm doing something different. So I'm learning. But I'm learning you're learning me a little bit better because you're attacking me. And I'm just countering. You were saying how many counters I have. And it was to a limit to you could counter but so much in so many ways. But you kept doing it to see my reaction speed. You kept sizing me up basically. You kept hesitating. Then you would do is you would see you went from learning my counter to learning my speed, to learning how I'm gonna move, my movements. This is how you work with yourself. These are patterns and behaviors. I'm giving you an example. And if you watch sports, you will understand. That's why I'm so good at basketball. That's why I never had to be the fastest on the team to be able to play I play with NBA superstars. I never had because it was a lot of things that I did that I'm paid attention to that on a lot of times they will not pay attention to. But by them being just so much better than me, they mind is not gonna think. So I say, okay, this time, now I gave him one time. The last time we did it, I said, now I'm gonna come at me for real as much as you can be because you're not angry and mad at me. You really don't want to fight me. You want to fight me, but you really don't. So I'm gonna do everything I was gonna fight you. I did everything but hit him. He hit me, but I didn't care because I'm a little taller. So anything that came on my face, I easily countered it. And I actually made him hit himself. And he was shocked at that one. His first move was a leg move. He didn't know I knew a little bit of martial arts, karate, taekwondo. I studied it on my own. And I put my head up. He was like, oh, I'd have broke through that. I was like, I would never lost balance though. He's like, yes, you would. Because when you did that move, I seen your hand come. You seen me already push your hand out. You thought you had to force, so you tried to use your left arm to turn me. But I twisted it and I broke apart and I pushed away. And I got back to my boxing stance. Because I was like, I'm not going to allow you to do that. You're going to have to earn that move. And he tried to come in with me. He tried to go under me in my chest. So I bent down and I pushed down on him. And that stopped him. And then I forced him over. I was like, I know how to fight. And that was a karate boxing move. That was a part of Taekwondo when you learn boxing. In the Taekwondo, they don't learn boxing. They just learn how to move so they can get their legs positioned. And then he learned, he said, why you staying with a wide base? I was like, my base ain't, it's not wide. It's not wide at all. I was turning. I had to turn you out the way, and I had to pivot with my body. I used the least amount of energy. So I moved my body. He didn't understand. I was like, see, you're now, what I was doing with him, I was like, this is why now I started messing with his mind. This is what the conquerors do, the art of war. And we had to forget about this. I was like, what I did was, now I'm telling him what he didn't even do. But I'm making me think about what he think he did. He didn't do that. I just countered it. That's all I did. But I'm basically telling him what he did, and he didn't really do it. So now he's confused. So now he didn't have the understanding. And there's another example. Me and the one guy, we grew up together, and he used to be just naturally strong. He's going mind, he's losing his mind because his spirituality now, I don't know what happened, and I've seen guys do this. When they get into their spirituality, their mind become gone. And this is how you forget who you are. This is the understanding of it. He stopped enjoying life as well. Don't stop enjoying life. That's why I keep saying that. Do not stop enjoying life. He challenged me. He was stronger than me. And one day I grabbed him because I was working out, but that wasn't even the call. I don't even think that was it. I think he got weaker spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. He grabbed me and I broke his grip and I grabbed him. He stopped and paused because he was and he finally understood I'm in my right mind. So a person that'll talk about a religion or these beliefs, don't tell me I'm in my right mind. You can be in your right mind. I won't bash you for it. I'm not going to bash nobody for their understanding. All I want you to do is guide into the all truth and to challenge yourself to be better, stronger, bigger, and higher. Shalom.